Spirits may be up when it comes to financial health in this country, but at the same time, millions of Canadians are struggling to get by. Government statistics put the number of Canadians living below the poverty line at nearly 3.5 million. In reality, the number of people unable to cover their basic needs is likely higher. Abigail Bimman reports on efforts underway in Ottawa to change the poverty line to better capture the extent of the problem.
Oh, living check to check. It is tough. It's very tough.
Making ends meet in downtown Vancouver is tough for Dad Levi.
Sometimes I have to choose one thing or the other, especially for my daughter.
We lifted 900,000 Canadians out of poverty, including 300,000 kids.
Fighting poverty has been a focus of the Trudeau government, creating Canada's first official poverty line. To better reflect today's reality, Statistics Canada is working to update what defines it. The last time that happened was 2008, and the number of Canadians living in poverty jumped by 2.2%.
I sort of look at it like, getting a new pair of glasses. It's not like the world changed, but all of a sudden our view of the world is in better focus. So we need to update our statistics just like we update our prescriptions.
So what is the poverty line? It comes down to something called the market basket measure, the minimum someone needs to afford a basket of goods and services for a basic living, and it changes based on where you live. For a family of 4 in Winnipeg, if they had less than $36,558 a year after taxes and other deductions, they'd be living in poverty. StatsCan is tinkering with a long list of things. Money allocated for housing, for example, was lowballed by 43%, according to those surveyed.
That sort of makes sense because the shelter costs were determined back in 2008. Things have changed in Toronto and Vancouver and many other cities.
Here in Vancouver, homelessness has been consistently going up. We're at a record high number of homeless neighbors who are on the street right now.
Another example, they're looking to take watches off the necessities list, but add cell phones. While experts agree having a clearer picture is always positive, some say the poverty line has problems. Calculations are tied to the needs of a specific family of 4, and it currently doesn't include Indigenous people or those who live in the territories, though Stats Canada is working on that.
We don't know when we will have numbers for people living on reserve.
Citizens for Public Justice had been advocating for a more relative income marker, but still, Natalie Appleyard says any one measure only gives part of the picture.
It's still going to underestimate the situation for millions of people living in Canada.
Statistics Canada has a final report on this expected in a couple of months, but there's no word on timing for what politicians decide to do with it. The Liberals have committed to cutting poverty in half by 2030. Abigail Bimman, Global News, Ottawa.